Hello, and welcome to How to Teach Your Kids How. This is a show about teaching your kids about anything that you want them to do. I'm going to teach you how to do it. Today, we're going to learn how to teach your kids how to tie their shoes. Shoes are a big part of kids' lives, and they are worn on their feet every day. Believe it or not, wherever you go, you're going to need some shoes. That's not a shoe! How about this one? Here's a regular old dirty shoe. The shoe has a ton of different parts to it, and it's something that your kids need to know about, because if they don't know what they're tying, then why would they ever want to tie it? Let's start here. This is the bottom of the shoe, also called the sole. The reason it's called the sole is because people like you and me and the little children that you're going to be teaching how to tie their shoes, we all have soles. So when you teach your kids how to tie a shoe, you need to remember to talk about their sole. Are they going to walk all over Are they going to lose their shoes while they're untied? That means they could lose their sole. That's a good motive for them to want to learn how to tie their shoe. Next up, we've got the tongue. That's a good way to get a kid that's about 3 or 4 years old to learn how to tie their shoe, is to show them the tongue. My mother used to always tell me, if you show them some tongue, they'll show you love. Many shoes come with an insignia right on the side. This shoe has a man with a golf club. On the laces of the shoe, the laces weave in and out of little holes. These holes are called eyes. It's weird because shoes have a lot of different parts that are the same as humans. Now, humans don't necessarily have strings coming out of their eyes, but shoes do. Now, shoes come with, every shoe is different. Like humans have 2 eyes. Shoe, always. The whole front of the shoe is called the face. And right here, right at the edge of the face, this is the tip. Let's start tying shoes. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. You want to grab the shoe as delicately as you can while it's on your son's foot. Truly, it's tough when you don't know what you're doing. But with a little practice, first, go ahead and cross the strings like this. Make sure they're lightly crossed so you can show your child just how the strings cross. You want to make a comparison for your child as you pull them tight. If you're of a religious family, you could compare it to the cross that Jesus was crucified on. If you're not religious, you could compare it to a cross like in a tic-tac-toe game. Once they've made the cross, show your son that everything's okay. It's all still the same. Take one string, and you need to take your left hand and grab it in the middle. Grab the string right in the middle. And then take your other hand and you need to pinch it just like so. This makes a nice little lasso. You want to show your son that this is a lasso. By the way, I've been mentioning your child as a boy. We're going to have another series coming out later on this summer to show little girls how to tie their shoes too. So you take the lasso and you want to get the cowboy in the lasso. Basically is what you want to do. Swing it around town and lasso that cowboy right around that loop. And we have ourselves a nice little predicament here. By the way, tying your shoes slowly like this is tough. You're going to want to get your kid to be quick. By the end of it, you've got your cowboy has got a rope around his neck. You're going to pull the rope tightly around the cowboy's neck like so. And you're going to split it up at the middle, right up his gut. And then the cowboy's going to try and get away. You're going to grab this cowboy. He's going to try and get away of the bull. You're going to pull it tight. Aww. gonna go ahead and strip down to my skivvies and get my foot in there. Get down in that shoe and you're gonna pull that tongue out, because no one likes a tongue licking on their toes. That's a good way to put it to the kids so that they remember. You gotta tie them. You gotta get these things tied up. Take the shoestrings, make the crucifix around the neck of an abandoned child. Okay, it's stuck there. Shoes date back all the way back to the 13th century, before Christ. Now, even Christ wore shoes. He didn't invent them, of course, but the inventor of shoes was named Thaddeus Whitman. And he made hundreds and hundreds of shoes in his laboratory back in the Middle Ages. It was the Dark Ages, more like it. Nobody had shoes. When you think about shoes, you think Nike, you think Adidas. But back then, there was only one brand. And those shoes were called Whitman's. The reason that shoes got started so big was because so many people would come to Thaddeus' mother. Thaddeus' mother was a nurse. Her name was Belligerent Flip. She was a beautiful woman. But she was a nurse, and people would come to her with all these foot problems. I stepped on a twig, I stepped on a stick, I stepped on a log that was too sharp, stepped on a branch, I stepped on a stick. All those problems with their feet. Now, Thaddeus took note, he found a problem, and thus the Whitman was born. Now, this isn't an original Whitman, but it's the most classic that I can find. This one even has a staple in the bottom. That protected me from something. One of the major problems in the shoe world today is that so many kids don't know the difference between a shoe, what's a shoe and what's not a shoe. So I wanted to quick run through and make sure that everybody was on the same page. Shoe, shoe, not a shoe, not a shoe, 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 not a shoe. This is a boot. This was invented by Philip Crane, 1712. Shoe, shoe, not a shoe. Go for long.